Good morning, everybody. We're coming to you live right here from inside the main build facility, Bubba's Exotic Motorsports. I'm Tom. We all know the ladies' man, and he's inside with the air conditioning and the master entering stage right, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, Bub. How we doing? It's Friday, man.
So I will tell you what, man, we have been having a lot of fun here around BEM this morning, this beautiful July 20th Friday morning. Everybody knows what happens next week, but the party starts tonight. My birthday is next Saturday, and let me tell you, we are going to go ahead and start this thing up tonight. So why not get some of the high-end rides ready and go out and destroy them?
Bub, we've got some really good news, man. This is something we've been waiting for an extremely long time. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be sharing some great stuff to you. This episode is brought to you by Bubba's Exotic Motorsports. That's Bubba's Exotic Motorsports. Make sure you join us. 20,000 plus online parts to include this, and we're getting right to it. Miss Outlaw Boutique, ladies and gentlemen. The moose is loose on the internet. Miss Outlaw, MSOutlawBoutique.com. Orange County Choppers. Bub.
Hey, man. Stay tuned every Monday night, 10 p.m. Discovery Channel to see the boys up in Orange County, New York on Discovery's American Chopper.
Did you notice, Bub, that on Fox News yesterday morning, the guys from TAPS had the OCC bike down at Fox News headquarters in New York City?
That's right, I saw that.
It's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
A lot of great stuff, Bub. And Capristo, Bub, we now have done it.
Yeah, man, so, definitely something that we have been looking forward to for a very long time. As you know, BEM is known for building with some of the highest quality components in the automotive industry. Everything from, honestly, from bikes to trucks to cars to classics to pro tourings to electronics to audio systems. You name it, it is available through BEM. And this was that final major step to literally having the best of the best in terms of partnerships and name brands in the automotive industry, and that is Capristo Exhaust. Not only from an exhaust standpoint now, but also with an entire line of carbon fiber components that are literally matched to the T to what that manufacturer would have been, whether it's Audi or Ferrari. They all have different twill patterns, so it's going to be an exact match, so it looks like it's something you went into Audi, for example, ordered on an R8.
And Bub, Capristo, one of the reasons you wanted to team up with them for so long and partner up with them is because Ferrari recognizes it, Lamborghini recognizes it as a factory installed style exhaust system. Let's talk a little bit about that, Bub.
Well, it's, just the R&D that goes into Capristo systems are nothing more than just pure quality. It is out of the box exactly what you would get in terms of its fitment and design finish of what the quality would offer you, right? So whether that be Audi or Lamborghini, Ferrari, Porsche, Aston Martin, Bentley, any of those brands and major name companies out there, it is literally like you're going and buying a performance modded version with equal to, if not better than, in terms of quality, in terms of the weld design, in terms of sound and performance. But it is out of the box, bolted on, hassle-free, and it is pure quality and exact fit and finish when you're done.
By the way, Bub, we want to say good morning to our good friends out at Frisco Auto in Missouri, the St. Charles area. They're just south of the St. Charles area, Bub. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Capristo catalog right here. The Capristo catalog, you can see it has a beautiful Ferrari on the front of it. The quality and the fit and finish of the catalog itself is amazing. It has everything for Audi, Porsche, Ferrari. This is actually the 458 Speciale exhaust you see sitting here in front of Bub. This has everything you could imagine on it. Here, smell it. It smells wonderful.
There's no chance they can smell it through there.
How about that?
They cannot.
Bub, this does include carbon fiber components for the high-end exotics as well. For example, we have two of them right here, Bub. Let's play props, shall we?
We're not playing props with these pieces. They're a little expensive, if you don't mind.
These are the carbon fiber. How about, Bub? We have a lot of loggerhead turtles here, right?
Stop, dude.
How about turtle fins?
Yeah. How about this?
Shark fin.
Let's put these back on the table.
Shark fin.
Because it is Shark Week.
It is Shark Week. It begins in 4 days.
Put that down, please. Bub? We know what's going to happen if you have that in your hands.
Antlers.
Well, Capristo, I'll go ahead and send you guys a check-in for these because they will be broken within the next 30 minutes, correction seconds. So I'll tell you what, man, as you can see, it is pure quality. We lined up both Porsche 981 and 991s behind us, just so you can see a sneak peek of what's going to be going on here at BEM pretty much full time from here on forward. We have a lot of crazy high-end rides in the works right now.
We do, man.
A lot of stuff for SEMA 18 in the works right now, and this is just that final piece that just brought it all into closure.
Good morning to Basil as well. V-A-S-Y-L. Am I pronouncing that right? Basil Buniak. Basil, let us know where you're from, man. Good morning to Jack up there in Ontario, Canada, all our good friends around the country. Bob, this new update on the Mevo that was just done is kind of slowing things down in terms, and you know I like to respond to everybody live as it comes in. Bob, why Capristo? What's the difference here, man? I know that one of the things you love the most about them is their CAD design work. You're a big fan of the CAD design work itself.
Well, you know, it's when you build, and man, exhaust systems go back a very long
Sure
way.
do, man.
They go back to when guys were doing, you know, sawzalls or hacksaws and sawzall combos, laying on their back in their garage on these little drive-on ramp deals, to where they'd be cutting them out and then just removing something, whether it be a muffler or a resonator or a cat or whatever the heck it is they're removing, to just put in a straight high flow piece of pipe, and they thought that they gained a lot of horsepower, right? So it's not just about increasing flow, it's also about increasing the design and the intent of the way that airflow needs to get around, not just be straight through, right? So you have to go through and you have to have a design process that understands the way chambers work, the way chambers are going to affect not only the sound, the tone that it produces, the drone that's inside of the car. High-end cars, you don't necessarily want a lot of drone when you're trying to drive them at higher speeds.
Correct, Bob.
So there's a lot of things that go into effect, and when you have companies as high quality as Capristo, they go through all of that. It is literally equivalent to a mass production. For example, you know, like the way when Ford stamps a muffler, they've done their millions of hours of testing on this thing, and it is perfect, spot on. It bolts right on. It does whatever it's supposed to do, and it gives you that sound you want, right? Well, of course, people change those as well. You know, we are sponsored by Borla, which is our big go-getter for like the domestic stuff, like your Chargers, the Vets, but I will tell you this though. The C7 line of product from Capristo, come on, dude.
Game over, man.
So we're going to talk about that with the guys at Capristo for SEMA 18, because we have a wide body that is probably going out this year.
Is that
so
going to be
stay tuned for that one.
BEM Extreme Dimension
Yes,
car?
it is.
It is.
So a lot of crazy things going on there, but it's just pure quality. The time that goes into these systems is none other than perfection.
Absolute perfection, Bob. Let's talk a little bit. Each one of these systems, Bob, a lot of people don't know, they are manufactured completely in in Germany, and they are headquartered here in the United States, Bob. These exhaust systems, we can have these exhaust systems. Most of them are in stock, 80% of them in stock.
Yep.
If something has to be made for for example, the Alpha 4C series, those are 2 weeks out and they're overnighted in, literally overnighted in, Bob, for about $290. That's a really good price when you consider what you're getting here. The welds on this are like your welds. They're just absolutely beyond out of this world. This exhaust system here, Bob, does contain the valving. Can you tell us a little bit about what I'm looking at right here?
Yeah, so probably 80 to 90% of exotic cars come with valve systems in them, and that is for two reasons. That is, one, to keep the car not only quiet and noise friendly when you're driving it, but also give you that total performance and roar that people are looking for out of these V8, V10s, V12 engines. That's what a lot of people want, is that high revving, high RPM, just loud, aggressive noise, right? But you don't want that all the time. You want to go out and you want to just cruise this thing on a Sunday morning. So you're going to want it toned down and quiet. Well, you're not just using simulators or bypass modules or anything like that to where you're essentially deleting the valves themselves. You are actually getting a direct fit system that operates exactly off of the tone of the way that the car should operate at a better, higher flow and sound.
And you can see, Bob, there are the actuators right here. These move in and out as they're connected to a vacuum tee right here up front in this area. And as you call for demand, it will open or close the chambers in the back of this X pipe right here and allow you that aggressive sound that you may or may not be looking for. If you pull up to 5-star, Bob, you may not want it to be exceedingly loud when you get there. So this is a very, very, very high-end exhaust, Bob. I'm very, very proud of this partnership with Capristo, and I'm looking forward to a long-term relationship with them, especially as we are going to be the official South Florida territory dealer for this product.
Yeah, man, all of these products are, of course, going up on the BEM website. Trust me when I tell you, guaranteed hottest products, lowest prices, no chance anyone's beating it. These things are in stock. Pretty much 80% of inventory is ready to ship. There are a few items out there that are a little more on the rare side that aren't just sitting in boxes ready to go. But for example, like you mentioned, when you order something for like the Alpha 4Cs, right? Those things are super little beastie little cars.
They are.
Great price tag on them.
Your clients
really fun to drive and cruise. Power upgrades are really fun on these things. They're phenomenal to cruise around and just play with, like little go-karts. But when you do buy, for example, like a Capristo style exhaust for it, and let's say there's a change or a modification that is different than what the Alpha required, right? So maybe it's not, you know, a stock style, you know, maybe the tips are on the outside of the car and you want to move them into the inside of the car. It's not just Capristo giving you the exhaust and kind of leaving you with a problem. They literally have a redesigned spoiler assembly or rear diffuser assembly.
That's correct, they do.
That will come with their systems that match not only to the exhaust tip relocation, if any, but also to the carbon fiber to match the rest of the factory car.
On tomorrow's show, Bub, the #1 rated internationally syndicated motorsports podcast. Good morning to Jack Bias. Good morning up there in Ontario, Canada. Jack, how you doing? Hey, Jack, how do you like this brand new marriage between BEM and Capristo, and what do you think about the quality of this, man? You're a car building guy. I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. But tomorrow on the #1 rated internationally syndicated motorsports podcast from 9 to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, as seen live right here on Bubba's Motorsports Facebook page and heard on Spreaker, iTunes, all of the big networks. We're going to be doing an entire segment on exhaust, and it's going to get very technical. And we're going to ask you as a designer and builder, one of the top 3 in the world today, to step us through these, okay? So we're going to have the phones will be open. Of course, we'll be monitoring anything that comes into the show, and I'll answer those questions. I'll be asking you those questions. So it's going to be a very technical segment, and it's going to be featured and sponsored by Capristo Exhaust.
Yeah, man, I'm really looking forward to it. You know, it's as much as you need to talk about the system, it is not hard to discuss the system because they are just pure quality, right? So for example, even just down to bolt-ons,
Yep.
It is factory matched in terms of its fitment. All of the entire Capristo line is. So when you go to, say, for example, slide this onto the back of a 458 Ferrari, it is nothing more than removing the factory slip clamps here. You slide this unit on, put the new slip clamps back on it, and that is it.
And now, Bub, that people are seeing this physically, when you call it, well, first of all, what is a slip clamp? Tell us what a slip clamp is.
So it's nothing more than just an outer diameter clamp that goes around any of your connecting points, and you do nothing more than tighten it down.
Okay.
It is just that simple. So essentially easy hand tools. I don't know if you want your average guy working on a Ferrari 458. You definitely want somebody skilled, especially when you start getting into removing body panels to do these kinds of mods and stuff. Most of these cars are mid or rear engine rides, so you are typically removing rear bumper components, rear hatch covers, things like that, so you can get in, which is going to require a lot of skill, time, and care when you go to put them back together, so you don't slip, you don't push something back in and too fast or too forcefully, and you end up scratching the side of the car or anything like that. Or maybe you have a rear hatch cover off, you don't get it adjusted exactly back where it should be, then you've got gaps that don't work and electrical hatches that don't release like they should. So you want to take your time, as anything you do in the industry, and make sure you have perfect fit.
It's funny, you were working on one of your high-end clients' vehicles yesterday, a Porsche. Not a late model Porsche, a 2001. They love the car. They keep it in-house. His wife loves to drive it, and the top assembly broke on it. It was about 2 weeks for you to get all the parts in here, but you got it right. And not only did you do that, Bub, but you also realigned the entire rear hatch area. The trunk, the fenders, everything was realigned, and you took the time to grease all the tracks, to do everything like that. When you got done with that car, you went way overboard like you do with everything, right? The client just sent a text out of nowhere this morning and said,
super blown away.
Super blown away.
Yeah.
Man. He said how quiet it is, how smooth it operates. It's a work of art to watch it work now. Before it was pulling from different directions. It was just a mess. The quality of what you've done is amazing. Jack says, looks like a nice setup. It does, doesn't it, Jack? It's a really, really cool setup. Along with, Jack, these new carbon fiber components that are also available through the Capristo line. These let me put some light on this so you guys can see it. These carbon fiber components are extremely lightweight. I'm blown away, all of the nuts or bolts are in it, so you can put your nuts up on it. I'm literally blown away at how nicely, Jack, this piece is designed, man. It's very, very light. It's very, very, there's just nothing to it. It's amazing, it really is. Very cool piece, and you can see the weave in it as well. The Capristo company, Bub, has gone so far as to match the factory weave on a car in their carbon fiber replacement parts.
Yeah, so it's a dead-on match, not only from the fitment of their exhaust systems, but also their bonnets, any of their hatch covers, any of their carbon component and pieces. Again, all of that is available through the Bubba's Exotic Motorsports website, so maybe you already do it yourselfer. We have a lot of those out there. We get a lot of questions sent in to us about products that we may offer, and if people can do it on their own. And we will give you an honest and professional opinion of whether or not you can tackle a job by yourself, or whether you should take it to a professional, somebody like ourselves, or if you are anywhere in the U.S. or overseas, find somebody locally there.
Bub, Alex Vasquez is asking right now, would you please tell him, is this real carbon fiber?
Yes, so that's one of the great things about it. When Capristo does carbon, these pieces are literally, here's me holding it with my finger and thumb. These are
Bub, you also bench press 270 pounds.
at way understatement there. It's 405 on my max, so don't shut me down.
But I'm saying on your average, that's on your average.
Yes, this is real carbon fiber. It is true. It is not just like what a lot of companies do out there, which is either use fiberglass or some sort of composite molds and then wrap them just in a carbon finish. This is true, real deal, lightweight carbon fiber. The expense is there. Again, like anything in the industry, you do pay for what you get. Or get what you pay for, and that is exactly the Capristo line.
Alex, here you go. Here's a good example of it right from the Ferrari section of the Capristo catalog here. You have the carbon fiber diffusers in the back, the surrounds as well. Alex, the bonnet covers, Alex, right in here, are also carbon fiber. So their line is, these are very cool pieces that sit down on the side skirts here, Alex. The complete Capristo line is really, really amazing, and it is very, very evolved. Again, the technicians went to the trouble, Bob, of matching the factory carbon fiber weave with this.
Yeah.
And Alex says, and Jack says, nothing like carbon fiber. No, Jack, it's really, really cool. Alex says it's very cool. It is very, very cool. And we're very, guys, I can't tell you around the world how proud we are to be married up with Capristo. It's been a long time coming, Bob.
Yeah, it's definitely something you guys are going to want to stay tuned for, as the BEM site is literally getting updated with the thousands of products that Capristo has. As we speak, it is literally going on. You can still check out the product from capristoexhaust.com, and let me tell you, dude, the product that is out there, it's insane. I mean, when you look at it, you see the quality, you see the fit and finish. The sound is hands down just pure animals. When you open up any of these motors, any of these exotic style European motors, the high-end luxury and sports cars, the sounds that they produce when they are north of 8,000, 9,000, 12,000, 14,000 RPM, it is insanity. I mean, they're literally spitting flames all over the place, and it just doesn't get much more cool than that.
It doesn't. It has, Bob, a totally different sound than the American V8 coming through a Flowmaster.
Yeah, but listen, you can't go wrong with just a nasty, massive, big bore, high compression American V8 just chopping around. Oh, you can't beat it.
No, you can't beat it.
No chance is it ever going to be as fast as one of these. But you can't beat that sound.
No, you can't. You really can't, man. These things fly off the showroom floor.
Yeah, plain and simple. You know, we talk about that all the time. We get a lot of questions about it. We have people that ask us, because we get to play with some of the craziest rides in the industry. People ask us all the time, like, hey, what would you rather drive, like a 454 Chevelle SS, or would you rather drive like a Porsche 918? Yeah, no chance. So let me tell you, even on a good day, a Chevelle 454 is going to hit a 0 to 60 in maybe 4.5 seconds. These cars doing it in a jaw-dropping 2.5. So
it's crazy, man.
It is like your eyes go blurred, and it's just insanity.
The other thing, too, ladies and gentlemen, that you may not know is a lot of these European and exotic cars come with what we call a launch mode. Bub, can you tell us what the launch mode is?
Yeah, man. So it's really cool, because again, that just shows the R&D that goes into these higher quality rides or ride components and parts and accessories. There are literally preset controls on these cars where it is factory set, and this is before like everybody started getting them in like the Dodge Chargers. You know, the new Hellcats come with them all as well, with the drag pack packages. The Mustangs come with them. But these have been out, and they have been fine-tuned to the T, where it's literally, you get a two-step launch controller, you get a trans brake, you get it all under one switch in launch mode, and it is just full throttle giddy up.
And Bub, we're not knocking the American cars. Certainly you cut your teeth
no chance.
on the classics.
Yeah, I mean, still, you're not going to beat that power and that sound that you get out of the V8s, and you know, especially like factory supercharged or boosted. But it's just, they're two totally different animals.
They are
totally different.
And we
animals.
certainly appreciate all of them.
Yeah.
Bub. I was talking to the guys and girls over there, Bub, at Frisco Auto in St. Louis area. I was actually talking to Stephanie, their marketing manager over there, Bub, and we were talking. She was asking, how do we bill out on the bodywork of the cars? And I'm proud that they called us, because we are an industry leader and we're known. I explained to them our three-step process: interior, exterior, mechanical. And she said, well, what about the body? I said, don't touch it unless you put 20 grand on it right out of the top, babe.
Yeah, you know, it's and that's what a lot of people don't get, right? So, for example, and let me just throw numbers out there, right? So to most people, and I'm not saying this in a bad way, but to most people with the classic cars, anything more than a $3,000 paint job in their mind is like, their mind is blown. So at the end of the day, with today's materials, if you want what you see in the projected world and the imagery that comes out from Barrett Jackson, from Mecum, from things like that, those are easily $15, $20, $30,000 paint jobs on these cars, and that's why they look as wet as they do. You're not going to get that from going to a Mako, paying $3.99 for 10 people to go around the car and quickly scuff it and shoot it. Right, well, that's about all you're going to get. You know, so you have to put your time into it, and if you're going to put 100 hours into it, you need to be charging 100 hours for it. It's just that plain and simple. And my comparison to that is where most people think that that paint job is expensive at $3,500, $4,000, $5,000, pushing the limit for most people. In all reality, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000. Go buy a brand new car and ask for a custom color. You're going to get that exact same quote on a mass production ride that is easy to do.
Exactly, yeah.
With no rust. It's right. You're not dealing with anything else. You're literally scuffing and doing a color change, right? And at that point, when it's coming down an assembly line, you're doing nothing more than selecting the color that gets shot on the car before clear. So when you compare most paint jobs in the classic car, resto mod, pro touring world, especially going as far as rotisserie stuff where you're flipping it and putting on chassis rolls.
That's what they do out there.
So when you're doing all that stuff, 15, 20, 25, that is not an uncommon number, and it is not an expensive number when you compare that to the quality, for example, of Capristo. So you go, for example, and you want to buy an exhaust system for a 458 Ferrari, you are looking at spending over 8 to 12 grand, depending on whether it's valved or not valved, or catted or not catted.
By valved or not valved, what do you mean, Bubs?
So these valves we discussed earlier. So you're looking at spending that just in the one part alone, right? So now compare this in your mind. Take those two numbers, 20 grand for a full paint job on a car that's going to take 2 years versus an exhaust system that's 10 grand that's going to take a couple hours to install. So you can do the math, you can look at it, you can weigh it out. You just can't shortcut yourself when you're doing the restorations. They take a very long time, and people have to appreciate it. And if they don't, call a tow truck, take that sucker on down the road.
That's exactly what I told her. That's exactly what I told her. In fact,
it's just that simple.
Make sure you document. They take pictures of the cars. I said, get it in writing, charge a write-up fee up front to cover your time. Don't do anything. Don't sit down and write up the car and spend the time and then try to qualify the client while you're sitting at the desk based on his or her reactions, how they're shuffling back and forth with their body language. Qualify it up front. Pay up front. Get a quote, and we'll give it back to you on the backside.
And there's a lot of people that don't understand that in the industry, whether it be either business owners or clients. Number one key to it is straight up, it's not being arrogant. It is all about money.
It's
that's what it comes down to. It comes down to money. So like if you know that you're going to go buy a Rolex watch, probably going to walk in there knowing I've got an extra 50 grand in my pocket, ready to spend, right? You're not going to walk in looking to buy a Rolex for $1,500. No. And it just goes that way with anything in life. If you're going to go buy a brand new TV, if you're going to go buy a brand new Corvette, you know what those numbers are naturally. If you've taken 31 seconds and done some research, you know what numbers you're looking at spending, right? So just don't waste people's time. And it's not a problem to just qualify someone. I told somebody that this morning. Listen, it's all going to come down to your budget. So don't come to me unless you have a budget in mind, because if I'm here at 10 and you're down here at 500, we're way off.
We're not doing it.
And there's no reason for me to waste my time.
That's exactly right. So ladies and gentlemen, keep that in mind as you're thinking about the classic car projects, as well as, and I'll tell you, there's a big difference, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm not being arrogant, nor am I trying to segregate people or anything like that, but there's a huge difference, Bub, between the European and exotic car group and the American muscle group.
Well, big time, and I think that's starting to slowly change as that mindset is coming into the muscle car world of what it takes to build a pro touring. We discussed that with one of our high-end clients the other day. He's almost 400 grand into a Bel Air. And that's a car that's not here that we're building at BEM, but another facility that is up north. He is having it built. He's having multiple cars built actually all over the place, us doing one of them. And you start having a true understanding of what money goes into them. And there's no difference whether you're buying a set of 3-piece wheels for this Porsche back here riding on cores that are $8,500 for a set of wheels versus buying a set of 3-piece wheels for this 68 Firebird sitting offset here. You're still buying a set of 3-piece wheels. They're going to be average between $1,200 and $2,000 a rim, depending on if you get custom coating or colors. So it doesn't matter. It's just about the quality of product you're buying, whether it's for a Firebird or a Porsche. You're going to spend the same amount of money on a set of 3-piece wheels.
Jack up in Ontario says, Bub, my buddy does airbrush on custom cars. When he's done, it looks like it's wet. He's up at $45,000.
And that's right.
My point exactly, man.
And that's right. And I'll tell you what, and that is an art that airbrushing was huge, and there's still a very huge cult and following and crowd out there for it in the industry. But that's also a market that it's hard for people to spend that kind of money on airbrush paint jobs. Granted, you never get that kind of money back out of it. You put 45 in, you get 20 out of it if you go to sell it in 6 months, which sucks. But at the same time, it's kind of give or take. You've got a really sick job when you're done. But that's what it takes, man. That's somebody with one skill set that not many people in this world have
anymore,
to sit down and do either 3D characters or graphics or airbrushing or tribal graphics or Man, just anything you can imagine doing, hand-laid gold leaf, you know, all of that kind of stuff comes into play, and it all is just down to somebody's mind and somebody's hands, and that is worth something at the end of the day. If you want it to look like 50 grand, you probably got to put up about 50 grand.
So, Bub, let me say, the guys up at OCC, they've hooked up with a couple great airbrush artists up there.
Yeah.
Haven't they?
Yeah, pretty
really
insane stuff.
Bub.
Yeah.
Really good stuff. So, Bub, congratulations on this. This is a big step forward. We will be the Florida exclusive dealer for the Capristo line, Lamborghini, Ferrari, BMW, Aston Martin, Mercedes, the whole line, ladies and gentlemen. We have it here at Bubba's Exotic Motorsports.
That's right.
Big news, Bub. Tomorrow's show is going to be all about exhaust and exhaust technologies. How do you do it, Bub? A lot of people don't know that on the BEM 981 right here behind us, you did a very custom exhaust because of the upgrades to it, but you left the factory tip on it so it looked absolutely perfect. It's really good stuff, Bub.
Yeah, and you know, that's kind of what you want. You want that improvement, and not only typically, number one reason for exhaust systems is what? Sound.
Breathe, yep.
You want sound. A lot of these guys, you go and you get that kind of car, you want to hear what that motor can do, not just hear it in that stock fashion. So you go and you buy an exhaust. It's one of the number one bolt-ons probably on any car in the entire world if the guy is a performance mindset or girl. It is probably like the very first bolt-on you do, aside from window tint, if you want to do that. Some people like it, some people don't. I love my stuff tinted dark so you can't see in, or you just stay cool.
Well, it's easier to bounce off of things.
Yeah, it is for you. Then you just drive away and just leave it.
Every wheel on my car is banged up from not being able to see out the windows.
Right, I know. Yeah.
Excuse the pedestrian on the curb.
I know, and then you yell at him. All right, so that is it for this episode. I'll tell you what, man, super excited with BEM and Capristo's partnership. We are going to be doing some insane things. Stay tuned for some crazy high-end rides we have lined up for these installs within, I'd say, the next week or two.
Next week or two, Bob. In fact, I think we're going to start Monday with a Capristo exhaust installation on a BEM Porsche.
This may happen.
It's going to happen, Bob. Congratulations, Bob. Long time coming. You've worked here to get to that level.
Yeah, that's right.
Real proud of you, man. Real proud of you. And by the way, Capristo could have gone anywhere in the world and asked them to be the official Florida dealer. They came to you.
Yep, that's
Very
it.
Good, Bob.
See you guys.
Jack says, have a great afternoon, guys. Jack, thank you so much for always being part of this family. We really appreciate it. Tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, on the #1 rated, internationally syndicated motorsports podcast, Doing It Bubba Style, seen right here on the Bubba's Motorsports Facebook page and heard on Spreaker, iTunes, all of the big places, Blog Talk Radio, 9 to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, coming to you live in 4K. We will be doing exhaust science and technologies. We will have the Race Ready report from Mr. Mark Hoffman, the BEM driver of the dirt track cars. And our new segment, Motorcycle Madness, brought to you by Steve Farrell. It's going to be a great show. Join us, 9 a.m. right here, ladies and gentlemen. This episode has also been brought to you by Bubba's Exotic Motorsports. That's BubbasExoticMotorsports.com. Visit us online for 30,000 online parts to include the brand new Capristo exhaust line. Bub, anybody want to tell anybody? You want to tell us what's sitting off the set over here to stage right from your position?
No, because nobody can see me, so me talking is totally irrelevant. I'm like this voice in the air. Just wrap up the set, please.
You guys don't get to see the Bubster's not gonna let you know. Miss Outlaw Boutique, ladies and gentlemen. Bam! She's all over the web. MS Outlaw Boutique for the finest in boutique fashion, accessories, and apparels. It's right there. Miss Outlaw Boutique. Get online, support her. Guys, for your girls, girls for you as well. Orange County Choppers are choppers done Bubba style, and Bubba won't let you see nothing. He's kind of selfish, isn't he, about that? But he's over there. He's standing behind there looking at it right now, going like this. But I can't tell you about it, ladies and gentlemen. Orange County Choppers are choppers done Bubba style. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, Capristo exhaust. We're blessed. I can't tell you how humbled we are to be partnered up with Capristo. It's been a long time coming, and they did choose us to work with them. We're very proud of that. Capristo is performance exhaust done Bubba style. Ladies and gentlemen, let's reach out and touch somebody's life in a very positive manner today. Let's open the door for somebody who's got their hands full. Let's put shoes on somebody's feet who has, and look, here comes my tech walking through the door right in the middle, pulling me out of the middle of what I'm doing. Let's put shoes on somebody's feet who have holes in them, ladies and gentlemen. And by the way, let's feed somebody who's standing on the corner with a sign that says, "We'll work for food." Power drink and a protein drink and a power bar, that'll feed them, ladies and gentlemen. And it's cheaper than your designer cup of coffee. Until tomorrow at 9 o'clock on the Bubba's Motorsports Network right here. Let's keep on doing it Bubba style. Let's get